Welcome everyone. In this video, we are going to see about Amazon CloudFront. So before we deep dive into Amazon CloudFront, let me introduce about myself. Myself Mahendran, and I am an AWS community builder, and also I am 7 times AWS certified batch. And if you want to follow me, I have shared my LinkedIn handle. You can follow me here. Now let's see what is the agenda. So first we will see introduction to Amazon CloudFront, and the next one is how CloudFront deliver content to the users, and the next one is Amazon CloudFront features, and followed by that CloudFront pricing, and then at the last I will be showing a demo for a particular scenario. Now let's see about what is CloudFront about. So Amazon CloudFront is actually a web service that speeds up the distribution of our static and dynamic content such as HTML, CSS, JS, and image file to the end users. And also, CloudFront delivers the content through a worldwide network of data centers that is called as an edge locations. So when a user requests content that is serving with CloudFront, the request how it will be going is it will be routed to the edge location, and what that will provide is it will provide a so that the content will be delivered with a best possible performance to the end users. For example, consider a scenario where if the content is already in the edge location with the lowest latency, then what the CloudFront will do, it will deliver the content immediately to the end users. But in some of the scenario, the content will be not in that edge location. So what the CloudFront will be doing is it will be retrieving it from an origin that we have defined. For example, the origin may be S3 bucket or an HTTP server. For example, the HTTP server may be a web server, so that we have given as a source in the content. So consider I'm just explaining with an example. So I am having an image that is being served from a traditional web server, but not from CloudFront. So the URL may be considered like https colon example.com/mahendran.png. So in this case, what will be happening is, so I am going to navigate to that particular URL and I am going to see the image. But what here it will be happening is the request will be routing it from one network to another, or otherwise it will go to the collection of interconnected networks that may compromise the internet until the image is found. But in if we are going to use CloudFront in this particular case, doing is it will speeds up the distribution of our content by routing through each request through the AWS backbone network to the edge location, so that our content it will be the served will be very burst. So typically this is actually a CloudFront edge server, so that will provide the fastest delivery to the viewer. And also, if using this AWS network, it will reduce the number of networks that the user request must pass through, so which will directly improves the performance. And also user will get a lower latency. So in that scenario, the time to take to load the first byte of the site, and also it will have a higher data transfer rate. In addition to that, we also will get increased reliability and availability, because our files will be now it will be in cached state in multiple edge location around the world. Now let's see how CloudFront delivers content to your users. So here you can see a sample flow how CloudFront is delivering content to the end users. So basically, I am an user, consider. So the user is going to access a website or an application, and what will be going is it will be sending a request to for an object. For example, in my S3 or in my web server, I am having an image file or an HTML file that I need to get it accessed. Okay, so what will be happening is, from the website it will go to the DNS will route the request to the CloudFront POP, that is an edge location, so that it will best serve the request. Typically, the nearest to CloudFront POP in terms of latency and routes the request to that edge location. And from that, CloudFront will be checking its cache for the requested object. For example, if I have access before itself, then it will be taking the content from the cache itself. Otherwise, if the object is not in the cache, then what will be doing is the CloudFront will compare the request with the specification in our distribution, and then it will be forwarding the request to the origin. So in here, the origin is an Amazon S3 bucket or maybe an HTTP server itself. So then the origin server sends the object back to the edge location. Okay, so that is the 3B. And then as soon as the first byte arrives from the origin, CloudFront begins to forward the object to the end user. And also, CloudFront also do another thing is add the object to the cache, so that for the next time, if I am going to access the same object, then it will not go to the origin. Instead, it will take the object from the cache itself. So that is the major advantage, and also by using it, you will have a lower latency, and also you will get the content very much faster. So this is how the CloudFront will deliver content to the end users. Now let's see the CloudFront features. First one is the accelerate static website content delivery. So CloudFront will speed up the delivery of our static content. For example, we said images, style sheet, or JavaScript, and so on. To viewers across the globe, we will get very much speed. So by using CloudFront, we can take advantage of AWS backbone network and also CloudFront edge servers, so that our end users will have a very fast, safe, and reliable experience when they visit our website. And then a simple approach for storing and delivering static content is to use an Amazon S3 bucket. Okay, so using S3 together with CloudFront has a number of advantages. So if I need to mention one of the thing is, we can include an option to use origin access control to easily restrict S3 control. So on this particular scenario, I will be explaining a demo as well, so that you will get a better understanding on this. And the next feature is serve video on demand or live streaming video. So here, how the CloudFront is being given a much importance is, it will be having both pre-recorded files, or otherwise we can also do live event as well. So for example, for video on demand streaming, we can use CloudFront to stream in common formats such as MPEG dash or Apple HLS, Microsoft Smooth Streaming, and CMAF to any device. And also, if I'm going to broadcast a live stream, we can cache our media fragments at the edge, so that multiple requests for the manifest file that delivers the fragment, right, in the right order, it can be combined, so that it will reduce the load on our origin server. And then the third one is the encrypt specific field throughout system processing. So this is actually an important feature. So when we configure HTTPS with CloudFront, we already have secure end-to-end connection to the origin server, right? So when I am going to add field level encryption, then we will be protecting specific data throughout system processing in addition to HTTPS security. So this will be an added layer of security, so that only certain application at our origin can see the data. And the next feature is the customize at the edge. So what this means? So for example, I am going to running a serverless code at the edge. It will opens up a number of possibilities for to customize the content and experience for viewer at reduced latency. For example, our site got crashed. Okay, so it will be written, and it can return a custom error message when our origin server is down for maintenance. Basically, we will be having a custom error message, right? So our site is under maintenance, you can come back after some time. So in that case, instead of getting an HTTP error message, we can configure a custom error message in AWS CloudFront itself, so that it will be very much customizable at the edge. So on this particular scenario also, I will be showing a demo. You will be getting better understanding on this. And then the last one is the serve private content by using Lambda at the rate edge customization. So here, using Lambda at the edge can help to configure our CloudFront distribution to serve private content from their from our custom origin, in addition to using signed URLs or signed cookies. Now let's see what is the AWS CloudFront pricing. So as we said, Amazon CloudFront is designed. We don't have to pay any upfront payment, or we don't need to pay and commit an amount, kind of reserved amount. So it is kind of a pay as you go pricing model. Now let's see the demo. Okay, now let's start the, and now let's see the demo. So here what we are going to see is, we are going to create a CloudFront distribution, and from that we are going to distribute a publicly accessible image file that is being stored in an Amazon S3 bucket, and also we are going to understand the custom error pages and geo-restriction in Amazon CloudFront distribution. Now before that, we need to AWS management console. I have already into that. Now we will first create the Amazon S3 bucket. So I'm going in the search, I'm clicking on S3. So I'm going to create a new bucket. So I've given a unique name, and then the region you can deploy. I am just selecting US East to 1, and the object ownership I'm selecting ACL enable, and the object ownership it will remain as an object owner. So I'm just restricting all the things, and as the image that needs to be publicly be accessible, I'm just unchecking this one, and I'm giving acknowledge this, turning off block all public access, and I'm just giving all the settings as it is, and I'm creating a bucket. So here you can see our bucket has been successfully created. Now let's upload an image file into this bucket by clicking on upload. I have uploaded the file in here, and post that I'm giving upload. So our upload got succeeded. Next, we are going to, in the S3 bucket itself, we are going to create a folder. So what is that folder is used for? To create a custom error content. So I'm just giving a folder name called custom errors. So inside this folder, we are going to have two HTML files. One for if I am getting 404, I will be getting like the site may be under maintenance, or this kind of a word. And the another thing is for a geo restriction. So it will be coming as the site is blocked under your country or likewise. So we are going to upload two HTML files in this particular folder. So I'm going to click create folder. So here you can see our folder has been created. Now I'm going to upload an HTML file for the error. Error.html file has been uploaded. So in this file, we will be we have updated as this is an error page. Okay. So if the page is not there, what it will become, instead of coming in different HTTP error message, it will be mentioning as this is the error page, likewise. Right. And then I'm clicking upload. our error.html got uploaded. Now you can see here. And next I'm going to upload block.html. So this HTML content, what will be having is this content is blocked in your location. So why? Because via CloudFront we are going to block India country. So when I'm going to access it, right, so it will be coming as this content is blocked in your location, so that the end users will be knowing, okay, so this content is not for our country. Likewise, so I'm going to upload the block.html file into this custom error folder. So block.html file has been uploaded. Now I am clicking upload. Once both the files like error and the HTML both are has been uploaded to the custom error folder. Now we will go to the bucket and we will try to access the image. Okay. So I just copy URL and I'm going to access this image. Here you can see it, right? This is access denied. Why it is coming access denied? Why? Because we haven't given a bucket policy to access it from the public. So I am going to add a bucket policy by going to the permissions, and I am going to edit bucket policy. So here you can see it. We have given the action as list bucket, and also it will another action we are given is get and put. So in both here we are going to update with the bucket on. So post updating in both the fields, you can give save changes. So once this has been done, you can see publicly accessible. Now, when I do a refresh, right? So this is the image I have uploaded in the bucket. Now we are getting the image from the S3 bucket via this URL. Now I'm just opening in another tab so that I can show the CloudFront. We can, I'm going to create a CloudFront distribution. So in the search, you can give CloudFront. Can create a CloudFront distribution. Here it will asking for the origin domain. So here the origin domain is S3 bucket. So here it will be listing down. So I am just selecting the S3 origin domain, and I am going to give all the settings as default, but you can configure custom settings as well. Here you can see all the settings like restrict viewer access and how the cache content need to be done. Is it like need to be optimized, or is it other settings? Or I can also define custom origin policy as well. And here also you can see the price class. I'm just use all edge location for the best performance. Here, if it is restricted to some specific country or maybe within North Europe, then I can use those specific price class as well. And here also, if you see WAF also, we can have it for the CloudFront. And also we can give alternate domain name. And also if we are having using custom SSL certificate, I can do that as well. So I am giving clear distribution. So this process will take around like 5 to 10 minutes. Now it is in deployed stage, right? So it needs to come in enabled state. Post that, we will get an CloudFront distribution unique URL. So from that, we will try to see whether our image is accessible or not. Now you can see our CloudFront is being deployed, completed, and also here you can see the status is in enabled, right? Here you can see the distribution domain name and when it got modified. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just copying this distribution domain name and I'm going to paste it in here. Now when I access the CloudFront domain, right, it is showing an error. It is not showing actually an error. It says it's been truncated or the max keys and those things. So why? Because we are having an image file with this particular name. So if I want to see this particular image, why? Because it is having this folder and so only we are going to see the static files, right? So if I am going to have an index.html in that case, it will actually our site will be coming up. But as I am having this particular image with this specific name, I need to mention this name at the last of the domain name. So I am giving a slash and then I am giving this image name. Right. Now you can see our image from the CloudFront, not from the S3 bucket. Okay. Now, and also you can see how much fast is it, right? It is within millisecond, we are getting this image. Now, let's see how to configure custom error page on AWS CloudFront. To go to that, before that, I will give an overview like what are all the configurations are exist in the AWS CloudFront. Here you can give alternate domain names. If I am going to use customer specific things, I can give an alternate domain name. And if I'm going to use the AWS WAF like whitelisting or blacklisting IPs, I can configure in here. And the origin, as I said, we are using S3 origin type. If I am going to be using web server or a load balancer, I can configure that as well. And this is actually a behavior like how the cache policy that need to be done. So if I am going to have any cache related policies, I can configure in here. And this is where the custom error pages. So if I want to have any custom error pages in CloudFront, I can do it from here. So I'm just giving create custom error response. So here which code I'm going to select, like 404 not found, right? So for example, I'm searching for an image that is not exist in the origin itself, then it should give a custom error response. So I'm giving 404 not found, and I am giving the minimum time to live is 10 seconds, and I am giving custom error response is, and also I'm giving the response page path. So what is the response page path? So this is going to be my response page path. So I need to copy this custom errors slash, and then I need to give the HTML file which is error, right? Error.html. And based upon for which code I need to get this particular page path, 404 not found, right? So once these things are given, I am going to click create custom error response. And I am giving click create. So once I given create, it will deploy, right? Why it is getting deployed? It needs to deploy, as this is a kind of a new thing, right? We have configured. So it will take the change, it will be happening in all the edge locations. So it will be going into deployed state, right? So it will again, the process will be taking around, and it will take around like 5 to 10 minutes. Once the state has been changed to enabled mode, we will test the error page. Here, here also you can see it is in deploying stage. Let's wait for some couple of minutes. Post that, we will test it out how the error page is coming from AWS CloudFront. Now you can see the deployment has been completed for the CloudFront distribution. Now how to test it out, right? Now what I'm going to do is I'm just copying the same AWS distribution domain name instead of the exact correct name, right? A random name, kind of abc.png. So this particular file is not exist in the origin, right? So I'm giving as abc.png. Now let's see what page is coming. So this is then custom error page we have given in the bucket. So this is error page, right? So if I'm not going to give that custom error page, it will be giving some kind of HTTP error response like 404 not found, something like that. So in that case, the end users may not aware like what is that? Okay, why it is not coming? So they may be they may not understand, right? So if it is coming like that, okay, something is happening, and the owner of the site, they may fix some issue. So this is a good feature that is having in the AWS CloudFront itself. Now let's see how to restrict the geographic distribution of our content. So for example, if we need to prevent users in selected countries, for example, some other countries we are getting more requests and that they are not going to be a valid one. They are trying to hack our site, or they are trying our site kind of a DDoS attack if they are going to do. Then how to block those country, right? So that is geographic distribution restriction. Okay, so we can either a whitelist like countries which they can access the content, or we can blacklist like countries which they cannot use it. So how to do that? So we can achieve it from geographic restrictions. So here we can do edit, and here you can see three options, right? As I said, no restrictions means from any country they can able to access it. If I do allow list, from this country alone they can able to access the site. If I am going to block the list, and from this country they can't able to access it. So for now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use block list, and the country which I am in, I'm going to block it. Okay, so I am giving country India. So I am selected India, and I am giving save changes. Once I give changes, it will be going into deploying stage. We'll wait for some couple of minutes. Post that, let's see what is the error I am getting. Before that, we have accessed it from CloudFront. We have got this particular image, right? Now let's see post deploying this. Now let's see what is happening, right? Whether we are getting this page, or what kind of error it is coming. Okay. Now you can see our deployment has been completed. Now let's see whether I can able to access the site as I'm in the India, right? So let's try this URL, and I'm going to access it. There you go. You can see it. I can't able to access it, and also it shows 403 error, and also it says like Amazon CloudFront is configured to block access from your country, and we can't connect to the server, and there might be too much traffic. Content to custom to CloudFront you can do. There are giving some documentation, and also a request area. So these things will be coming in when the customers or any of them are accessing the site, right? So this information will be getting it. So these information not needed, and they can't able to understand what is CloudFront and what is this 403 and all, right? So for this, now we are going to configure custom error page. Like as we have configured for 404, right? So in the same manner, we are going to configure for 403 error. So how we can do that? Same thing, just we can go to create custom error response, and in the select error code, I'm going to give 403 forbidden. And as I already have in my S3 bucket, I have another thing HTML called block.html. So this particular HTML file is going to help us. I'm giving custom error response, and I'm going to give the response page path, the S3 bucket path name, custom error, and then block.html. Right now, I am going to give create custom error response. Now it will be in deploying stage. Let's see post deploying how this particular error, okay, yeah, here, how this particular error is changing into an custom HTML web content. Now our CloudFront distribution deployment has been completed. Now let's see, we have configured 403, right? So before we were getting this particular output. Now let's try to access this particular URL. Now you can see this is a custom error page where we is blocked in your location. So via this thing, any of the users, they can able to understand, okay, this particular content is blocked in our location, so we can't able to access it. Instead of this specific error, it will be much more simple, and it will be easy to understand for end users. So here we have successfully configured custom error page, and also we have restricted the image access from our country. So let's summarize on this. So we have successfully created Amazon CloudFront distribution, and we have published an image to CloudFront. And after that, we have learned how to configure custom error page for CloudFront distribution. And after that, we have also configured restrictions based on geolocation. Thank you for watching the video.